So we know the reason why you clicked onto this video, and you've seen the title, so let's get into it. So reason number one why the PS5 is better than PC. Now before I start, I want to mention that PC and PS5 are both great platforms for gaming, but PlayStation 5 just has an advantage or advantages in certain areas that the PC doesn't have. So I'm going to point out those advantages. So first up is price. When it comes to pricing, you get a lot of performance for a cheap price. So for a PlayStation, it starts around $399 for the digital edition, and that gets the same performance as the disc version of the PlayStation 5. And with that, you get 4K 120 FPS, you get ray tracing. Now, all games don't play 4K 120 FPS, but they do have quite a few. And then also you can get 4K 60, or just the other things, 2K 120 ray tracing, all of that. So yeah, if you want to build an equivalent PC, then that will cost you like 4 times the price, close to like $1,200. And so that wouldn't be fair to compare such a high-end PC to a lower-end PS5, because the PS5 is a lower-end console, because it's not even the Pro or the Slim. And we do know that the Slim is a little bit better than the original PlayStation when it comes out, and the Pro is like the top tier PlayStation. So when people compare PC to console, they normally compare high-end PCs to lower-end consoles. That's like comparing a Camaro Z01 to a Challenger RT, a $70,000 performance car to a $35,000 or somewhere around there performance car. You see, that's not really fair. So to make this fair, you have to be at least within a couple $100 of each other to be a fair comparison. So I just want to put that out there. So up next we have performance. Now, as I mentioned, there's no PC around the price range that can perform just as good as the PS5. Now, if you don't want to take my word for it, listen to what the gamer has to say about it.
Let's say the PS5 will be as expensive as their most expensive console. Even at $500, you're not going to find a better deal on PC, especially when you consider the PS5 will come with a controller and supports ray tracing. And you'll have to acquire a mouse and keyboard and a controller if you want to use one on PC, which also won't support ray tracing at that price point anytime soon.
So you see, when it comes to performance, PlayStation has the edge over PC when it comes to that price point, as the gamer stated. Now let's talk about competitive gaming, something that PC excels at, right? Well, I can't say that's always the case. Now hear me out. When it comes to competitive gaming, you want to be better than your competitors, right? And that normally means having better performance, which is normally like refresh rate. Now for PlayStation, the standard refresh rate is around 60 Hz. And if you're going against PlayStation 4 players, it's normally 30 Hz. So now your competition is running 30 to 60 FPS. But for most competitive games, you can run 120 FPS on the PS5. So all you have to do is just get a 120 Hz display, then you can be running double the refresh rate as your competition, therefore putting you ahead of the competition. Now with PC, you can run 120 FPS, but there's going to be plenty of people running 240, 360, 180. So you're going to easily get outmatched when it comes to performance. With PlayStation, it's about who's the better gamer or who has a 120 Hz display, which isn't as pricey as PC, which is who has the most money, meaning thousands of dollars to get the best performance. And we know most people don't have that type of money, so most of the time you're going to be on the short end of the stick and at a disadvantage on PC. Next up, we have immersion. Now, immersion is one of the top things you want to have when it comes to gaming. Either it be a single player, RPG, any type of game, most genres, you want immersion. Now, PlayStation is king when it comes to immersion. They have a DualSense controller, which has haptic feedback. They also have 3D audio and many other features. This video can explain further. Now, as you've seen, the immersion on PS5 is top tier. Now, on almost every game, immersion makes the gameplay entirely better. It puts you inside of the game, and it just makes your entertainment overall just that much more enjoyable. Now, the only argument to this is that when it comes to competitive gaming, you may not want immersion because it can kind of throw you off on your performance. But that's only one genre out of many. But for most genres, you need that immersion. Well, you don't need it, but it makes it better. You know what I mean. Now, let's talk about exclusives. This is somewhere where PlayStation excels. Now, for their exclusives, they have things like Spider-Man Miles Morales, they have Ratchet & Clank, Horizon Forbidden West, and many other games. And these games can only be played on the PlayStation platform. So that is one edge it has over PC. Up next, let's talk about upgrades. Well, actually, let's talk about video capture really quick. When it comes to video capture, on the PC, you may have to buy something like an Elgato, which can cost you hundreds of dollars to record video gameplay. But for PlayStation, it has it built into the software, and you can still record 4K at 60 frames per second. PlayStation also has an editing software called Share Factory, which got many improvements from the last iteration. Now let's go to upgrades. Now when it comes to upgrading, PC reigns superior with its limitless possibilities, but that also means limitless money as well. Now with the PlayStation, things are a lot simpler. All you have to do is just buy the new console, and everything comes to your house packaged, put together, and all you have to do is just plug it in, as you can see in this picture. Now when it comes to upgrading your PC, things can get a little bit more tricky. And that normally means taking apart the PC, saving the software to another drive, or even repasting the CPU or unplugging components, as you can see in this video.
Remove your graphics card, disconnect all cables leading to your motherboard especially, remove standoff screws, and carefully lift the motherboard out of the system. You should be able to lift from the edges if possible.
Now if you want to go through all that work, then there shouldn't be a problem. I mean, I like doing stuff like that too. But for most people just want simplicity, and they just want to be able to plug things up and not have to do a lot of work. And that kind of leads to my next point, simplicity. Now this is the last point, and it kind of goes in line with upgrades. For a PC, you have to research the parts that best fits together, and then you have to buy them separately and put it together yourself. Then you have to download Windows on a flash drive from a different computer and then upload it to your computer. And then you have to buy the key, which can cost you $100+, which is what most people would do. And then after that, you have to get a mouse and keyboard. You can't really play on the TV because you need a desk to play at or a lap board, so then you have to purchase that. And then if you're at a desk, then you have to purchase a monitor, because most people have a TV already, so you can just plug up your PlayStation and start playing there. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, and not only do you have to do all of this extra work, you have to pay 4 times the price for a PlayStation 5. So that's just different things to weigh out. PC still is a good platform, and I do plan on getting a PC myself. So I'm not saying PC is bad, I'm just saying for the price point, PlayStation reigns superior. Now when it comes to over $1,000, then PC becomes more superior, and you can do a bunch of different stuff. But just for gaming, at the price point of around $500 or even under $1,000 for a PC, PlayStation and Xbox reign superior. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to leave your comments below and let me know if I missed anything, or if you agree or disagree or have any points to bring up. Again, thanks for watching.
PlayStation